afternoon, Miss Claire. So today is very happy to have our Miss Claire as our guest to have a sharing with us regarding the face of our school, our program, and our events from a successful assistant dean's perspective. While we know that Miss Claire is also a really successful assistant dean of SHMS. So welcome, Miss Jollain.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction.
So first of all, to start with, I think our audience is really interested on asking you these questions. So to start with, we know that you work in a lot of schools under SEG, including Cesaris and also HIM. So may I know, what do you think that there is a distinctive characteristics that make SHMS to stand out from?
First of all, we are number 3 in the world. That's something to say, right? Number 3 in the world and number 2 in Switzerland, according to the QS ranking. And in addition to that, we are also number 2 for employer reputation. And I think this is really what makes SHMS stand out, because we are a true hotel school. Maybe the last one that is really focusing on hotel, restaurant, events, tourism. We have kept the model that was the model of the hotel school 50 years ago. We have kept that model with a lot of practical classes, especially in Caux. Students, they have service classes and also kitchen classes, and even now bartending classes. And I think this is really the basis of our education. Of course, there are plenty of other things, but it really shows that we are vocational school. Our students, the reason why they come here at school at SHMS is because they want to learn with their hands. They want to do things. They want to be engaged. They just don't want to learn hospitality by a PowerPoint. So that's the thing. And at the same time, I would say, and this is what makes SHMS very special, according to me, is that we are also very technology aware. We are the only hotel school in the world that is Apple distinguished, and we just renewed this distinction, and we are very proud of that. And all of this could be summarized with 3 main values that are shared on both campuses, Caux and Lesin, and on all the program, the bachelor program and the master, MSc and PGD program. The first one is to be a role model. Our students, they learn to be respectful, inspiring, good teamwork skills, and they want to show how to do things rather than tell people how to do. That's why they're in the kitchen. They're not going to become chef, but they need to know how it works in the kitchen to be able to manage chefs, for example. The second one, I like it very much. Usually the parents, they like it also very much, is learn the rules before breaking them.
Yes.
So that's why our students, they are wearing the uniform. When they are in the fine dining restaurant, they learn how to take an order with a pen and a paper. Of course, they will learn how to use technology, but just, learning how to draw the table, identifying the lady first, for example, that are basic skills that are needed. And then, of course, after you add your creativity, the technology, but you need to understand, and our students need to understand that the focus is first on the client. And this is why I like very much the first year here in Caux, because the students, they have to be in the kitchen, have to be in the fine dining restaurant, but the last week we give them the restaurant and they can do whatever they want. And we have students who are very, classic, elegant. They do Italian style, Greek style, and we had also one group who did Squid Game, and it works. And the third one is to be a true hotelier, which is already what I say at the beginning. But when we say true hotelier, is because an hotelier is someone who welcomes strangers like if they were part of his family. And this is really what we are doing. This is what our students, they feel when they are with us. And I believe this is also what we teach them and what they want to give. So that's why I'm very honored to work at SHMS.
Thank you, Miss Claire. So actually what you mentioned is very important about our values that we want to achieve. So at the same time, like now technology is also developing, as Miss Jollain mentioned. So in this case, I think SHMS is also implementing a really core value, which is called sustainability. So in sustainability side, what are the factors that made your hospitality education in sustainability to success, including what is implementing from SHMS to develop the sustainable hospitality educations?
So sustainability for me, it's a big topic, and we need to be careful with that because we can be very close to greenwashing. Sustainability, I like the term sustainable, which is slightly different than sustainability. Sustainable meaning something that you do that lasts in the long term. So it's close to sustainability. Of course, sustainability is the fact that we are also taking care of our planet and we try to keep it as long as possible. But for me, it starts by the sustainable hospitality education. And it's really this vision of being a long-lasting education. That's why we start with what is to be a true hotelier, what is to be a true hotel school. And we equipped our students with skills on the long run, skills that will help them not only when they are at school, but also when they will be graduated and when they will start their career. Among them, there is, of course, the sustainability. But you also have the leadership. That's why our tagline is developing leaders for the global hospitality industry. As I said before, how to become a team player that you will need in any situation, in any work. And for example, the final piece of work that our students have to do is the digital portfolio project. And it is based on 9 graduate capabilities that are requested by the industry. Among them, there is, of course, the sustainability, but there is, for example, holistic collaboration, digital intelligence, innovation, and solution-driven. For me, sustainability should be part of all of this, because when you find a solution, you need to understand that how this solution is going to impact the guest experience and also the planet. What I like with these 9 graduate capabilities and this digital portfolio project is our students, for their final piece of work, they have to reflect on all the things they have done since semester 1, and they have to build on that. How did I start with collaboration? Maybe I was not good. And then how did I improve, you know? And for that, it creates really what I mean by hospitality education on a sustainable trend. Then sustainability, we need really to be careful when we are using that word because greenwashing is very close. What I like is that the little things that we are doing, we have implemented, for example, in Caux, a kind of competition with our sister school at HAM regarding waste management. You know, when you go at the canteen, the restaurant, and you throw the food away, we try to reduce this amount, and students they are aware, so they are really looking at. We also have decided to remove all plastic cups, so now the students and the staff, they have whether they have their own coffee cup, whether they have real coffee cup, and they just clean them after. We also remove all plastic bottles for the events. So when we have open days or when we have proper events, or people who are coming, we now have the SHMS bottle. And it's step by step that students see the evolution. There are things that we cannot change because at Caux, for example, we have its old building. Of course, the norms are not the one that are for the building right now. But what I believe is that instead of doing, a show or doing a PowerPoint explaining, wow, how we are going to save the planet, I think what is important is to have all these little steps. And what is very interesting is that we are, the students and us, we are, in this dynamic. Sometimes we are pushing something, sometimes they are pushing something. So the Student Ambassador Forum, they want to launch here a competition, an art competition based on recycled materials, So they have to do an art piece with recycled material. I have no clue how it will look like, but it's really coming from the students. And I like really this connection between us and the students, and we try to challenge ourselves. And I know that now for every single course we do, sustainability is one of the key factors. And it has to be, because we have no choice. And I'm very happy to contribute, but I know that the one who will contribute the most is your generation, the generation of the student, the Gen Z. And the biggest challenge for them will not be to be on social media as all the people who don't like your generation think, but it's really to save the planet. And that is a big challenge, maybe one of the biggest challenge for any generation in the world.
I definitely agree with what Ms. Jollain mentioned. As an SHMS student, I really feel like our school is quite sustainable. Actually, like what is really important is we're trying to implement sustainability. For example, like in our canteen, we don't really have the takeaway because it is very important that we can use less plastic to save the planet, like do our best to do everything, like implements and take action. So at the same time, I also agree that it's very important, like it's learning from leadership to solving a solution and to solving some problems by different solutions. And this is what I also achieved in SHMS as well. So in this case, may I also like to ask Ms. Jollain, what is your thoughts on having SHMS valuing connecting and also networking in its education? Because rather than sustainability, I think like our SHMS is really valuing on what is going on for connection and also networking. So would you mind to share some thoughts for us?
Of course, I will start with a number, 15,000. This is the number of alumni, of SHMS alumni. I think you can easily find an SHMS alumnus in any luxury hotel in the world. So it's really, we are everywhere, and that's great because the school is celebrating the 30th anniversary this year. So 30th anniversary of a court, 500 to 700 courts every year. Of course, it makes a lot of people. But connections start at school. We see that as soon as the students, they arrive in Caux, the semester 1, they are helping the semester 2 for the event. Also the master students, the semester 2 attend the restaurant concept of the semester 1. So, and they are all living together. I like to say that the castle in Caux is like the Harry Potter castle, and it's not easy every day. Okay, for Harry Potter, he has his friends, but he also has his enemies, and he has some challenges and things like that. And it's exactly what is happening here. The students, they are studying SHMS, but they are also eating SHMS. They are sleeping SHMS, they are breathing SHMS. So it's all about SHMS, SHMS, SHMS. And because we have 45 nationalities on campus, they also learn from each other's. They discover things, they break cliche, and at the end, they overcome challenges together. And that creates the first very strong connection. We have for sure, amazing network, but also, you know, friendship. We also have some weddings and some babies, and this is what makes also the school special. And what I like the most when the students from Caux, they move to Les Unes, because it's really, you know, we say it's one school, two campuses, and it's really fun because I know that we have some students from Caux will attend the World of Hospitality in Les Unes. We have also invited tomorrow is our International Day, and we have some students from Les Unes who are coming. And it's really nice. We have the International Recruitment Forum here, so the students from Les Unes are coming here. And for me, if I would summarize that, it's really with the Dunia project, because it's a project that 3 SHMS students have done. They participate to a competition, worldwide competition with 44 other hotel schools in the world, and they did different steps, and they managed to go up to the final and to be number 2. And it was 6 months of competition, very intense. And the success came also to the fact that we had 2 bachelor students, one that was based in Caux, the other one in Les Unes, and the third one was a master students, and 3 nationalities, French, Indonesia, and Sweden. And I think this is really what represents SHMS to the best, and the connection. And this is also what we show to the world, because the competition, of course, was followed by all the other schools and a lot of investors, a lot of hospitality leaders. And I'm so happy because these 3 ladies are amazing ambassadors for the school.
Understand. So it is like a connection between not only just individual campus, but it's the connection between Lausanne and Caux, and also different nationalities at the same time, and also different ages and also different people. They all connect together in only SHMS, which is a really great networking. And we also see a lot of alumni in different famous hotel, in 5 stars luxury hotel, or yeah, they are really famous. And also this is what we are proud of it as well. So in this case, since Ms. Jollain, you have, I think, around 15 years experience in events industry, what is means by a successful hospitality event from your perspective?
Successful. A successful event. That is very interesting as a question. I've worked with different type of clients. I work for corporates, so organize seminar. I've worked for fashion show. I worked for weddings. I worked for charity gala dinner. I work for celebrities. I work for politicians. And for me, the main focus, the main thing that people need to take into consideration is the client and the guests. Most of the time, the event planner, I mean, it seems obvious what I'm saying, because everybody will say, yes, of course, the client. No, because most of the time, the event planner, and it's a normal behavior, human behavior, we focus on what we like or what we dislike. And this is not the purpose. I'll give you an example. I've planned, I don't know, more than 100 weddings in my life. I am not married, okay? I mean, I'm happy to go to a wedding, but I'm really not into wedding. It's not something that I dreamt since I'm little and things like that. And in fact, that was my strength when I was a wedding planner, because I was really focusing on what the client wanted, would like to express, rather than, oh, if it would be me, I would have done this. So that is the first thing, is the focus on the client, but also on the guests. And this is where it's complicated, because you need to explain to your clients that what he or she thinks is maybe not the most suitable for the guest. Because at the end, the client need to understand that the success of the event is based on how happy, satisfied, or inspired are the people who attend the event. So for me, there are two things that are very important. Is the focus on the guest, and the second is how to do that is the wow factor. And it's very important to have a good start, something that wow the person at the beginning, because this is where the expectations are high, and people are ready to be surprised. And then to have a wow factor at the end. What I don't like is when you finish the event and ta-da, it's done. No, it's not done. So that is something that is after you, when you plan your events, you need to say, okay, I have the good beginning, I have something good in the middle, but how do I finish the story? You know, what is the happy ending of the story of the event? And something that for me is really key is to understand that, yes, you are doing an event. It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure, a lot of emotion, but we are not saving lives. We are not doctors. We are not firefighters. So all the things that we are doing are nice, important, but not super important and super urgent. And my experience is that I saw a lot of people freaking out and doing big mistakes and failing events because they couldn't handle with the pressure. And it's also important to say to the client, yes, it's your wedding, for example, because of course wedding is important. It's a wedding, but it's a party and people are here to see you. If the cake is not like this, or if we forgot this flower or whatever, it's okay. You know that, I know that, but the guests, they don't know. And what is the most important is to have this willingness to please people, because people feel it. I've seen in my experience some students doing event perfectly executed, and some other students were not doing the perfect event, but they had a better grade. And of course, the first group was complaining. Why? And it took me a bit of time to explain to them and to make them understand that, yes, it was perfectly executed, but you didn't feel it. You didn't really sincerely, genuinely want to welcome people, want to please people. You were only focusing on how perfect you must be to get your grade. So the focus was on you and not on the guests.
Understand. I really understand what Michelle is talking about, because it is like really important, because especially in hospitality industry, what we are doing is not only welcome guests, but we are using heart to build up relationship with our guest clients and even connecting with the world. So in this case, because in our events, this is also what we are looking for, to connect with different hoteliers and also different guests, by they have different demographic background or even any background, that it is very important for us to have a connection with them. So in your point of view, what is the world of hospitality in your point of view?
It's an iconic event. It's really the trademark of SHMS. And it really perfectly illustrates what we are doing with our students. I'm a huge fan of the world of hospitality because it's not just the event by itself. It really what it represents. It represents almost 3 semesters of studies at SHMS, and it represents the DNA of SHMS. We are also an event school. Our facilities are amazing, and we really expose our students to a real life event. It starts, of course, here at Caux. When the year 1 student, they start with a pop-up restaurant, the restaurant concept. It's one-day event in a way. Then the semester 2, they are doing their event. So tomorrow we have the International Day here at school. We will have another event next week and another one the week after. So, the students, they are emerged into events and they are learning. But it's not only what they are learning in the events class, it's all the things that they learn in the other courses, like in hospitality design, what they learn in marketing, what they learn in front desk, or in service. All of this is making concrete in front of them, and they build on that, because of course the first time they do the event in semester 2, well, this is the first time, so we have a lot of drama, we have a lot of cry, we have a lot of emotion, and it's really not fun, because it's not fun to see someone crying, but it's part of the process. And then the students, when they arrive in Les Uns, first they have chosen the specialization, so this is really okay. I've experienced that, and it was fun. I'm sharing a story with you. We had one student 2 weeks ago. She was really crying in my office. Oh, no, it's too complicated. I can't make it. You are giving me too many constraints. And what about the last minute changes? And then, okay, I answered to all her questions, reassure her. And I told her, what are you going to do when you will be in Les Uns? What will be your specialization? And she said, events. I think I will keep with events. I said, you're sure? And it's all about this passion. And so for the students who really fall in love, because it's all about that. I fell in love 20 years ago with events, and I did that during 15 years because it was really something, my passion. When you fall in love with events, this is where you go to the world of hospitality. And for me, what I like with this event is, first of all, the size of the event. It's really a big event. Here in Caux, we are doing events for 100 person. It's a more reasonable scale, and they have in Les Uns, you have much more pressure. You have a real clients, as you say. You have people from different demographic, from different expectation, and you also have the online part, like for example this podcast. So you are doing a lot of things. It's not only the one-day event. There are a lot of things that are happening, and it's really, for me, the best experience for the students in events. And we are very proud, but also thankful to have all these facilities, all the facilities for the students to be able to really experience that. We have professional kitchen, you have the Bloom Studio in Les Uns, so you have a lot of things. You have, of course, lecturers that are experts in their field, so it helps, but it's really putting you in a real life situation. And I believe that will be really something that will also change the CV of the students. And when they will start their career in events, they will really be known much more than many other people. We recently had a a new event lecturer who joined the team for the master. And it was very interesting because so the master, they work also with a real client. And what happened is that at the end of the event, of course, she was extremely proud of the students or what they have achieved. And she told me, because she has 10 years of experience in events, she told me, but they are much better than with the people I was working with. And this is that, it's really that, is that for you, when you see that from your student perspective, you say, oh my God, we did that wrong, or we were not good enough for that. But from a professional perspective, believe me, you are extremely well organized. You are really focusing on the client, which is for me the most important. I've seen too many people who make the confusion, let's say, between this is the event of the client or this is an opportunity for me to take part of an event. Our students, they know where is the limit. And I think that will make them very successful event planner in the future.
Understand. Thank you, Ms. Jollain. And yes, what I comprehend from you is to hold a really successful event. It is extremely important that to show our professionalism and also show our, like, we are doing the best to make the events good, rather than we are like looking for everything must be really perfect. Yes, it is very important to make it to fulfill the guest satisfaction. But at the same time, like, we should let ourselves know that we have already shown our professionalism on the event. Then it's really nice if the events goes well. You will goes well by having this kind of passion on it. And last but not least, I want to know, like, do you have any expectations on our WOH events this year?
My expectation is that students will be proud of themselves. I think this is the most important, is that they really understand that the teamwork is key, because alone you cannot handle an event. And that this is very interesting, because for me, events is really the thing when you realize that even if you are the smartest students in the school, you cannot do it alone. So you have to work with others. You have to be surprised by others. You have to be disappointed by others, but you have to experience that. And that is really the key, is that how proud you will be at the end. Of course, we want the clients to be happy. We want the guests to be happy. But if they are happy, you will be proud. So this is why, for me, the end result is the fact that you are proud. And one of the things that I wish every single student in events can feel, and this is something that I said also when I do presentation of the school, and people are laughing when I say that, because of course it starts with the Harry Potter castle, when Harry Potter wants to become a magician. And I say, here we are in this castle, we are trying to develop our hospitality superpower. And for me, hospitality is a superpower, the power to make people feel good. It's the power to make people feel happy, to solve problems, so to bring them back to happiness, and the power to make them dream with an amazing event, or make them questioning with a conference, but to really provide something good to these people. There are not a lot of jobs in the world that provide that. Yes. And it's extremely rewarding. Extremely rewarding. I like to share, I'm going back to weddings because it's something that everybody knows. We all have attended weddings, we know what it is. But when I was a wedding planner, I had sometimes to deal with brides that are a bit complicated, bridezilla, as we call them. And really, sometimes I wanted to kill them, to be honest. But at the end, I didn't. I promise I didn't. But at the end, at 3 or 4 a.m., when you are exhausted, and you're not very well paid in weddings, you are not very well paid. And you have the bride and the groom that come to you, that hug you, they have sparkle in the eyes, and they are telling you, wow, this is one of the most beautiful days in my life. Believe me, you forgot everything. You forgot that you are exhausted. You forgot that you are not well paid. You forgot how much you work for them, and you feel so good. Why? Because you feel meaningful. And I think this is something that is the reason why I moved from events to education, and I started as an event planner at Cesaret's, event teacher, is the sense I need to feel that I am meaningful, that I contribute to something or to someone. And this is exactly why I moved to education. And yeah, this is what I wish the students to feel, to have this rewarding effect right at the end of the event. Because then after you have the event blues, you know, when everything is done, you will see on the 6th of December, you say, oh, now it's done, what's going on? And it's really that, it's all about passion. And I really wish that for the students.
Understand. Thank you, Ms. Jollain. And yes, as a communication manager, I definitely understand what you mean. It's like really important to build up a really happy relationship with everyone. Like maybe the work will be heavy, but at the moments, like when you enjoy what is going on, you will feel like it's really meaningful for me and also for everyone. So today I also learned a lot from Ms. Jollain, and I understand why your attitude can create such a successful, like from an event career to education career. So in this case, I think that's all from my questions, and is really happy to meet Miss Jollain here. So does Miss Jollain has any more thing that want to share?
No, I just want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to discuss with you. I'm really happy to be part of the world of hospitality in a way. And I really wish to the whole team good luck. I just want to give a final advice that is very important, plan everything. Plan every single minute of this event, because things will happen.
Yes.
Okay, problems will occur. That is part of any event, and you need to be fully ready to embrace that. And it's okay if everything is super planned and you already have your plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, because you should have a few plans. You have your risk management file, of course, but of course something happened that you didn't expect. And if you are fully organized, if everybody knows what to do, and there is no stress, no last minute tasks, because everything is super well organized, then you have time to deal with the problems. My best example was when I had to organize a seminar for a cosmetic brand called Nux. It was in the French Riviera, and you have a lot of people coming from different parts of the world for this seminar. And the first day they were by the beach, you know, and we had a restaurant by the beach. And they were supposed to finish around 11 p.m. They were all jet lagged. It was really casual. Everybody was in flip-flop. And they were supposed to go back in the hotel and start the seminar in the morning. And unfortunately, in the hotel was a casino. And in this casino, they had a bomb alert. Oh. So we couldn't bring the guests back to the hotel because of the bomb alert. They need to check with dogs, you know, every single room. It was a big hotel. And it was already, you know, 11 p.m. And best case scenario, they would be able to go back to the hotel at 4 a.m. or something like that. So we had to find a solution. The hotel where we were was a Pullman hotel, part of the Accor. Mm-hmm. And thanks to Accor, we found another hotel, an Ibis. So it's a 3-star hotel, so not a 4-star. Yes. But we opened the hotel, we welcome everybody. Everybody had to share rooms because we couldn't have enough. Okay, I had 120 people, so I couldn't have everybody in one single room. So they have to share rooms. Some of them, they know each other, others they don't know each other. They didn't have the pajama, they didn't have the toothbrush, they didn't have anything. And of course, the day after, we have to reorganize everything. So I was working in rotation. I have a team for the night and a team for the day. So I was in the night, so I was able to inform the team for the day to reorganize everything. But on the day, the following day, you know, I was a bit stressed about what would be the reaction of the guests and so on. And everything went okay, no problem. And the following year, I was asked to do again the seminar. And it was more or less the same person, you know. And this person came to see me and say, oh, I recognize you. You were there last year. You are the one who solved the problem with the bomb alert. So what did you prepare for this year? Because it was so fun. I said, what? And this is what I like to share that story, because the most important is to understand that, yes, you will have a last minute problem and you might not be able to solve it the best way or the perfect way, you know, because the perfect way for me would have been to find another hotel with a toothbrush, with the pajamas and a single room for everybody, you know. So it was not the perfect solution, but it was a solution, and we did it quick, and we did it because we wanted to care about them. We want to show that we care about our guests, and they love it. And they love it. And they say it was a great experience for us. At least we have something to talk about. And it creates really a strong connection between people. Yes. So this is what I want to tell you to the whole team, is that plan as much as you can. Have your plan B, C, and D, and agree on that. It's not the moment to have a debate during the event. and then be ready to solve problems and be happy to solve them. And even if they are not perfectly solved, if you show that you care about people, that will be enough.
I agree with what Ms. Jollain mentioned. It is extremely important to have other backup plans at the beginning, because it is many risks, although we have already expect some risk may happen, and what we can do is to avoid and reduce the risk. But sometimes accidents do happen. So in this case, it is also training what the event planner has a flexible and also a really prompt response on this kind of issues. So thank you, Ms. Jollain, for sharing your years of experience and also your wisdom on events. So we will also let our role of hospitality teams to know that it is really important for having a really good planning. So thank you, Ms. Jollain, and I wish you have a great day.
Thank you, Annie, and thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Ms. Jollain.
Goodbye.